Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of WebGenie. In today's video, we are going to create a QR code generator. So what is a QR code? QR code is a quick response code. It is actually a barcode. So it is an optical label that contains information about the item to which it is attached. So what we are going to do is we are going to type a keyword, and if we click on the submit button, a QR code will be generated. For that we are going to use a QR code API, and it is from the QR code dot com site. So we are going to use that API for our application here. So this is the demo of the application which we are going to create. So if you type something, a text or a phrase or a URL, and click on the button generate QR code, then the corresponding QR code of that will be generated. So for that, create a folder and create 3 files. One is HTML and another a JavaScript and a CSS file, and link our HTML and CSS to that. Now I'm going to create a division called container, and there is a h1 label to that called QR code generator. Now I'm going to create another division of the class form, and I'm going to add my text and my button here. So the placeholder of the text can be enter text or URL. So there you can enter your text or phrase, and when you click on the button called generate, the QR code of that corresponding URL or phrase should be displayed. And for the first, I'm going to add a image to that. So I'm going to add a class QR code, and I'm for temporary purpose I'm just going to add an image. Now let us see how our HTML works. And now let us go start adding CSS part to this. So let us style this. So in the body I'm going to give the division as flex and align and justify all the content to the center. And in the container I'm going to make the background of the container as white. That is, our form should be white. And I'm going to give it a height and a width. And I'm going to give it as a border radius of this much, 7 pixels, so that it will have rounded edges. Now let us give it a padding. Now I'm going to style the form of our container. So in that I'm going to add the margin of 20 pixels. And now for the QR code image, so I'm going to give it a height and a width. And I'm randomly selecting a color as the background. Now let us add a class called active to our container. So what happens is, when the container class is active, then the height of that form will increase to 500 pixels. So this is when we are typing something, the height expands and the QR code will be generated. For that purpose I am adding a class called active. Now let us style the input and the button of our form. So I am giving the width and height, So width will be 100% so that it will cover the entire form. And I'm giving a border radius and a border to the form. Now for the button, I'm going to give it a background color similar to that of the our background. And the border and the outline is none. Now let us style the QR code of inside the container. So aligning all the items to the center, giving it a background color of white. The styling which we have applied is not working here. So if you notice, the class of the division which I have given is wrapper in the HTML and container in the CSS. So if I correct that, this is the form which we are getting. And now let us see why some other styles are not applied. So in our form, the width should be 100%, whereas I have given it as 100 pixels. That should be corrected. Now the styling is almost done. So let us start with the JavaScript part of it. So open script.js, and now I'm adding a constant called container, and that is our container in the HTML. And the QR input, that is the input which we are typing inside the form. So I am using this document.query selector to get the class name here. And the generate button is the name of the button. Yeah, so that is the constant which we are adding here. And QRIMG, that is the name I'm going to give for the QR image. Now let us write a function for the, so when we click on that button, what should happen? So we are going to write a function. So I'm going to write like generate dot add event listener and click. If we click that, the QR code QR value will be the QR input dot value, and if it does not have anything, it will just return. And now we are going to add a method on the QR image. So when the image loads, now what should happen is the active class should start working. So we have to add the active class. So we will write the code for that. And QR image. So this is the API which we are going to use. So now the image source I am adding as the API URL, and instead of example we can add the QR val here. So I am removing the our image, that is the static image which we have downloaded. So this is how it should work. Adding one more event listener to the QR input. So uh, when the event is key up, what happens is the class which we have added, that is the added QR code, will be removed. So when we type a new phrase, a new QR code will be loaded. So this is how it should work. So I am adding something, the QR code is changing. So whenever I am adding a new text or a phrase, the QR code changes. And now when we are loading, the text of the button will be displayed as generating QR code. Otherwise, it will be generate QR code. If you wanted to change the background color, there is an amazing website for that called Color Hunt, and it contains so many good CSS colors which we can add to our website. So I am adding a lavender color instead of blue here. If I don't like, I'm just playing with the colors here. So it has got a very good color palette. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends and family. If you are a new member here, please do subscribe to my channel and click on the notification icon so that you will receive all of my future videos. We will meet with another exciting video next week. Till then, happy learning. Goodbye.